From Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.
On News Hour tonight, 2022 Qatar World Cup begin with world-class opening ceremony. Zamfara state government says bandit-related attacks reduce in most local government areas, even as 12 people are abducted in Zurmi local government areas of the state. Nigerian Medical Association confirms kidnap of 2 medical doctors in Cross River State. And suspected Congolese soldier killed in Rwanda. Hello and welcome. The 2022 World Cup kicked off on Sunday with a visually striking opening ceremony at Bait Stadium ahead of the tournament's first match between host Qatar and Ecuador for the last 6 months to prepare for the tournament and work on tactics. But a nervous and disjointed performance led to a Group A loss. Now, with Africa Cup of Nations champions Senegal and 3-time finalists the Netherlands to come, this looked like Qatar's easiest game on paper, but it totally outplayed. Now, joining us in Abuja studio is Daily Trust Sports editor David Ngopwa. Hello, David. Thank you so much for joining us on the program this evening.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, now Qatar has become the first World Cup host to ever lose their opening game. How will this affect the team going forward, knowing that Qatar is not a football nation?
Yeah, it is really going to hit them hard. It has hit them hard, and it's a huge disappointment because, like everybody knows, the World Cup, even before the kickoff, has been made in so much controversy, and Qatar took so much time to prepare for this particular day, but it didn't go according to the script. Being the first is unwanted record, being the first to lose their opening match. And even before the end of the match, you could see that the fans started leaving the pitch. So there is this fear in me that maybe going forward, the fans may not even turn out for subsequent matches, but we hope that maybe they may do better in their next match against Senegal to retain the confidence of their fans. But it's really a tough one for the host nation.
Well, talking about Senegal now, Africa Cup of Nations champions Senegal are next for Qatar. Yeah. What do you think their chances are?
Yeah, Senegal have very bright chances because, you know, the first appearance in 2002, they shocked the whole world when they went all the way to quarterfinals to become the second African nation to achieve that feat after Cameroon. So, in as much as they don't have Sadio Mane, that talismanic captain, we still have confidence in Senegal. I'm so confident that Senegal will prove that the team was not built or is not built around Sadio Mane, because we all know that a tree does not make a forest. So there are very experienced players in the Senegalese team. Koulibaly is there, and there's a youngster that everybody should watch out for, Pape Matar Sarr, who plays for Tottenham. So I give it to Senegal against Qatar, who are already fumbling.
Well, now before I let you go, now with Nigeria not in the World Cup, Ghana and neighbors look like the next best thing. How do you think Nigerians are feeling at the moment?
Yeah, Nigerians are yet to overcome that loss, the shock, and they're so disappointed. And considering the fact that just a few days back, or just some hours back, you know, we were thrashed by Portugal, adding salt to the injury. And on the same night, Ghana defeated Switzerland. So, you know, Nigerians are really not happy. But as neighbors and as brothers, I think some of us will still want Ghana to go far. This is not something personal. It's for Africa. So we'll be supporting Ghana.
Well, thank you so much, David. Thank you so much for talking to us on the program this evening, and we hope to have you next time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Now, moving on, 5G governors and some aggrieved People's Democratic Party stalwarts on Sunday announced the formation of the Integrity Group within the party. The G5 governors, led by Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike, have been clamoring for the resignation of the PDP national chairman, Dr. Iyorchia Ayu, shortly after Atiku Abubakar, the party presidential candidate, picked Delta State Governor Ifeanyi Okowa as his running mate. Now, Benue State Governor Samuel, Oyo State Seyi Makinde, Enugu State Ifeanyi Ugwani, and Okezie Ikpeazu of Abia State are other members of the G5. Addressing newsmen before going into a closed-door meeting, Makinde said the Integrity Group remained the face behind the struggle within the PDP. Makinde noted that at the end of the deliberations, the group would fully brief the media on their stand on all the burning issues within the main opposition party. Now, other PDP leaders at the meeting are former Governors Olusegun Mimiko, Ayo Fayose, Donald Duke, John Ajang, and former Deputy National Chairman of the PDP, Chief Bode George. Kaduna State Governor, New Nigeria People's Party NNPP governorship candidate Senator Suleiman Hunkuyi pledges to revise some of the policies of the APC administration if elected in 2023. Hunkuyi said this at the interactive session with the governorships candidates organized by the State Council of Imams and Ulama in Kaduna. The report.
Council of candidates vying for a governorship seat in Kaduna take turns to appear before the Kaduna State Council of Imam and Ulama to articulate their plans for the people of Kaduna State if given the opportunity to govern the state in 2023. Candidate of the NNPP Suleiman Hunkuyi, while appearing before the council, promised to reverse some of the policies of Kaduna State government, including abandoning Al-Majiri system of education, as well as reinstate the district head sacked by the state government.
We said we are reversing the policy that took part in expelling our district heads. We are bringing them back. We need them. My own government, if we are lucky, we need them. They are productive. They are necessary. They are the first tier of government that collect intelligence, reliable intelligence. And then the last, which under the one which I mentioned here, is also under the issue of the abolishment of the Islamic system of education.
Governorship candidate of the Labour Party, Jonathan Asake, also appeared before the council. He promised to address the challenge of insecurity in the state. Asake said if elected, he will adopt inclusive economic and infrastructural development in the state.
Why are we concerned about security? When in Kaduna State today, farmers can no longer go to their farms, either to farm or to harvest. And if farmers cannot go to their farms, then it means there's going to be food shortage, food insecurity. So if we have been able to take a loan in this state, and that loan is up to the tune of over 307 billion within the time, it means that this loan is going to be paid by generations yet unborn. So this loan is taken to provide infrastructure. But we can see that the infrastructure is not provided in the rural areas. The infrastructure is not provided in the local governments. The infrastructure is only provided within the township.
The interactive session held at the headquarters of the Jama'atul Nasrul Islam Kaduna, with imams and ulamas across the state in attendance. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Even before the advent of democracy in 1999, youth had been referred to as the leaders of tomorrow. But the popular refrain seems to mock the youth of Nigeria 23 years after the return of democracy to Nigeria, as the number of youth in both elective and appointed positions seem inadequate. Silas Lowell explores the knotty issue of evolving a more youth-centered democratic process in this report.
While structural factors provide an important insight into how young people engage in the political space, the most important factor is how they themselves perceive their situation. Mass youths seem to have attained political enlightenment and appear to be ready to correct misalignment, which has limited their political stake.
By next year, this time around, we are already 24 years in democracy. But tell me, even a child that is born barely 20 years ago can tell you he has not witnessed anything called dividend in democracy. Nothing. And And we have accepted it as a defeat, and it's wrong. We have accepted it psychologically that, okay, politics is make money, spend the money on your people, look for the money again, you come back, they get you elected for the next position. And this is catastrophic. It's not going well for us, and it will never breed anything good for us. Generation yet unborn will grow up, will give birth to our children, they will call us failures. I'm not ready to be called a failure.
Youth now are ready to take back this constituency by the grace of God. So issue of youth, we are all together with youth. In fact, all of us are youth. We, the YPP, we are ready to bring everything to the everything to the possible way.
These young contenders believe the awakening of youth to their engagement in the political arena is a relatively new priority, but extremely timely.
What I'm just saying is that there should be a window in your life, not only politically. There should be a window in your life that you always live for another chance. And it is this window that I'm asking. Please consider me with this chance too. Maybe you will have a change of mind that we are not all the same. So it's not about I have been disappointed all the time. Maybe this one time that you will give a chance, you will see the difference.
Stakeholders said meaningful youth participation in politics is key to realigning the political system so that young people and youth-centered organizations can access more opportunities. From Yola, Salis Lawan, Trust TV News.
Nigerians have been advised to shun vote buying and other forms of electoral malpractices. Speakers at a political summit on good governance held in Ibadan, Oyo State made the submission. Stakeholders identified vote buying, ballot snatching, amongst others, as part of the strategies of desperate politicians to win election at all cost. Speakers at this summit advised political leaders to embrace the virtue of effective governance, which they believe can only be achieved through credible elections and the rule of law.
If the government of the people, by the people, for the people excludes some people, it is no government. That some people are excluded, or some people believe they don't belong, then that government is not for those people. And government must be for all.
It's not only big boss in the past. They want houses, offices. But where did they lead the parties and the thugs to? Dead end.
This is a time to present a credible program to the people. On no account should there be use of thuggery or intimidation. This is the time there should be a peaceful and free and fair election where people will not have fear to vote for the candidate of their choice.
Zamfara state government has said that the security situation has significantly improved in the state. A statement by Commissioner for Information Ibrahim Dosara said a survey conducted last week across the state shows there has been little or no bandits activities in most of the local government areas of the state. The statement, however, said there are some isolated cases of terrorist attacks in parts of Bukuyum, Gumi, Anka, Maru, Talata, Mafara, Gusau and Maradun local government areas of Zamfara state. It attributed the development to a recent order by President Muhammadu Buhari to security agencies to deal decisively with the bandits in the northwest states, which, coupled with the synergy between and among security operatives, have greatly helped to reduce the scale of banditry in the state. The state's Commissioner for Information said the hitherto wave of attacks, killings, kidnappings and raping of women have drastically reduced, and people are now seen carrying out their legitimate businesses in most parts of the state with relative ease, except in the 7 local government areas mentioned earlier. Dosara said the government and good people of Zamfara state are therefore expressing their appreciation to the collaboration between the security agencies and government, as well as the renewed determination of the federal government to deal decisively with the menace. The state government is urging both the security agencies and President Muhammadu Buhari to continue to support the unwavering resolve of Governor Bello Muhammad to bring back lasting peace that was enjoyed in the state before now. Armed bandits have abducted 19 people, including 3 nursing mothers with their 1-week-old babies in Kobre community in Zurmi local government areas of Zamfara state. The abduction came barely 48 hours after more than 40 people were kidnapped from Kangwa village in the same local government area. A respite from years of deadly attacks on communities in the local government was relatively enjoyed, but in recent time, abductions and pockets of assaults have resurfaced, making the residents to become jittery once again. Now, the mass abduction is believed to be perpetrated by a notorious bandit leader called Dankaremi. Now, Dankaremi has been terrorizing residents in Zurmi, Birnin Magaji, Jibia Axis in Zamfara and neighboring Katsina states. Last Friday, soldiers conducting an operation in the forest chased the bandits. Some of the criminals rushed into Gando community in attempt to blend with innocent residents or civilian population, residents said. 12 days ago, dozens of armed bandits were killed after days of military operation in a forest near a community called Gadar Zaima in Bukuyum local government area of the state. The latest abduction is coming at a time the State Commissioner of Information, Ibrahim Dosara, said the security situation in the state has significantly improved. Elsewhere, 2 medical doctors have been kidnapped in Cross River State. The chairman of the Nigerian Medical Association, Calabar branch, Dr. Felix Ochibong, has said. While the police are yet to comment on the issue, he explained that the incident happened in the Akakba local government area of the state. The incident, which is coming a few days after 9 people were kidnapped in the same axis, has left many in fear, especially as the axis is the only exit and entry route to the state capital by land. He called on security agencies as well as the state government to do all they can to rescue the victims, as kidnapping them will have a negative impact on healthcare delivery. Operatives of Operation World Punch have continued airstrikes on identified bandit enclaves around Kaduna State over the last week. An operational feedback relayed to the Kaduna State government says a strike on a major enclave south of Kidenden, Giwa local government area destroyed the hideout of a bandit, Al-Hadi Ghanay, killing him and several others in the process. The hideout of bandit Ali Kawaje in Birnin Gwari local government area was similarly targeted and destroyed, as well as those of bandits Musa Pajelo and Kachala Bello. Furthermore, armed reconnaissance was carried out over Rima, Riawa, Romana, the Kaduna airport area and adjoining locations in Igabi local government and continued along the Kaduna-Birnin Gwari road. Ground and air patrols are expected to continue in these and other locations around the state. According to a statement from Samuel Arwan, Kaduna State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Governor Nasir El-Rufai appreciated the fighter crews for their thoroughness and consistency. The Air Secretary of the Nigerian Air Force, Air Vice Marshal Paul Jimitola, has commended the Nigerian Defense Academy for churning out highly trained officers whom he noted would be very useful for the country, especially in her quest to fight insurgency and other forms of insecurity in the country. Jimitola said this at the battle inoculation of the combat military training for 342 cadets comprising the Army and Air Force Direct Short Service Course 30 and 26 exercise in Kachia, Kaduna State. The Air Secretary, who was the special guest of honor, said the battle inoculation is the manifestation of the reviewed curriculum of the Academy as recommended by the Defense Headquarters to improve the efficiency of combat troops. Earlier, the Commandant of the Nigerian Defense Academy, Major General Ibrahim Yusuf, said the battle inoculation is the final phase of the exercise camp Highland of the Direct Short Service Course and the Direct Regular Course of the Academy.
The battle inoculation we have just witnessed is a tactical exercise aimed at simulating real battle situations and other complex operational scenarios that play out in the real battlefield. It is a fluid, complex, and nerve-stressing exercise where only the well-trained, robust, and resilient individuals thrive. The battle inoculation has indeed given us a feel of the actual battlefield, experience with the roaring of guns and vibrations of the earth. The need for such an experience for you, the cadets, who will soon pass out and face the realities of the security situation in our country, cannot be overemphasized.
Today's battle inoculation, which is the final phase of exercise Camp Highland for the direct short service course Army and the direct regular commission course of the Nigerian Air Force. Their journey began for the Air Force about 8 months ago, and for the Army about 5 months ago.
You're watching News on Trust Television. Coming up, we get to find out if sugarcane is a fruit or vegetable. Details of this after the break. Stay with us.
Ba a iya sutura da abinci jin daɗin duniyar mai ƙare. Za ka iya more rayuwarka da kayan alfarma na kamfanin Vento Furniture kamar su Ladi Corner Sets, Escape Sofa Sets, Acadia Sofa, Piano Sofa Sets, Sofa Corner Sets, Vento Sofa Sets. Sannan kuma za ku iya saka ƙayatattun gadaje na alfarma a ɗakunan kamar su Gold Cream Bedroom Sets ko kuma ku wadata falonku da kujeru na alfarma irin su Sare Royal Set da Acadia Dining Sets. Ofishoshinku kuwa za ku iya saka manya-manyan kujeru na kece raini domin walwala da jin daɗin ku da abokan hulɗa. Kamfanin Vento Furniture ya tanadar muku gadajen bacci na yara masu inganci, kayan ɗaki irin na angwaye da amare har ma da sarakuna. Muna da shagunan mu a gurare kamar haka: 79 Allen Avenue, Ikeja, Lagos; 7A Azikiwe Road, Port Harcourt; 25 Glover Road, Ikoyi, Lagos; Shop U1 Jabi Lake Mall, Abuja, da kuma 4330 Walker Road, Windsor, Ontario ga mazauna ƙasar Canada. Vento Furniture, mun zagaye ko'ina.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
My name is Femi Adebayo. This holiday season, StarTimes is taking us to a better level. You can step up your family entertainment with the StarTimes upgrade promo. You recharge 2 months on Nova Bouquet and get upgraded to Basic or Smart Bouquet. Recharge 2 months on Basic or Smart Bouquet, you get upgraded to Classic or Super Bouquet. And if you recharge 2 months on Classic or Super Bouquet, you get 10 days free on your subscription. This upgrade automatically qualifies you for a weekly draw to win 55-inch Smart TV, PS systems, home appliances, and more. These prizes are proudly sponsored by Longreach, Wayon, and Amaz. This promo is from the 15th November to 15th January 2023. Times and conditions apply. On StarTimes, every day is the best day ever. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. StarTimes. Entertain your family.
Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is News on Trust Television. Our top stories. 2022 Qatar World Cup began with world-class opening ceremony. Zone 1 state government says bandits-related attacks reduced in most local government areas, even as 12 people are abducted in Zurmi local government area of the state. Moving on, Abdulateef Kola Abiola, the eldest son of the presumed winner of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, Chief M.K. Abiola will be on the ballot during the presidential election billed to hold on February 2023. In our series on the 18 presidential candidates, Shafiu Suleiman profiles the man and his chances in the election.
Unlike his father, who ran on the platform of Social Democratic Party, SDP, Kola is running on the more radical and pro-poor political party, the PRP, founded on the political ideals of late Aminu Kano. Riding on the popularity of his famous father, whose name is synonymous with June 12 election, Kola joined the People's Redemption Party, PRP, in April this year and later went ahead to pick the presidential ticket of the party. Many believe it was easy for him to win against notable politicians on account of the name his father made in politics and business. Kola Abiola was born in Abeokuta, Ogun State on July 1, 1962, where he grew up with his siblings. He grew up alongside his siblings under the watch of their parents. He had his elementary and secondary education in Ogun State before proceeding to a higher institution. He attended Baptist High School before going to Ibadan Grammar School during the holidays. Kola Abiola later did a term at Maryland Comprehensive Secondary School before his mother transferred him to Ayetoro, where he completed his secondary school education. After his secondary education, Kola Abiola went to Berkeley and then Colorado State University, where he obtained a bachelor's degree in finance and an MBA in business administration. Kola Abiola returned from England and started the university's staff school, Akoka. During that time, his mother was a lecturer at Yaba Tech and his father was an accountant. As an accountant, he was involved in managing his father's businesses, including Radio Communications Nigeria RCN, Wanderloaf Bakery, Concord Press, Abiola Farms, Concord Airlines and African Concord. Not much has been heard about his involvement in politics since the annulment of June 12, 1993 election that MKO was on course to victory. However, President Muhammadu Buhari restored June 12 to Democracy Day in 2018, an honor and recognition not only to the Abiola family and all those associated with Nigeria's democratic struggles, but also brought the Abiolas to political limelight. This goodwill might be what Kola needed to realize the political ambition of his late father, winning of the coveted political office in Nigeria. Speaking on Trust TV flagship program Daily Politics, Kola speaks about his mission in politics.
PRP is the oldest party in Nigeria today. Yes. It's been around from 1978, thereabouts. It's an extension of NAPU. Number one. Number two, we're in every local government in this country. That's why we had 3,625 delegates. Every local government. In this election alone, of the 30 gubernatorial elections available, we're fielding in 25 of those.
He said the PRP is a party that was started by the people and is truly for the people. It is a party that has shown first as its priority internal democracy.
I'm sentimentally, emotionally charged by Nigeria. The way and method in which things are going in Nigeria, I'm afraid that if somebody who's not symbolic enough and seen as a Nigerian and can hold it together, we have a problem if we don't start making that difference now. That's number one. Number two, it's symbolic enough that we had the best election in Nigeria 29 years ago. And with the new swearing-in date of June 12, 2023, it'll be a full 30 years of that election. And I think it's significant enough as a way to begin to build the rehabilitation and the healing of Nigeria.
As far as competence is concerned, those who know him said he has seen it all, learned some political rudiments from his father, but many are not convinced about having the fame and the contact of his father. The family name alone may not catapult him to the presidency, more so when considering the amount of resources and the goodwill required to prosecute the presidency of Nigeria. And his aspiration appears not to enjoy the blessings of other members of the Abiola family who have not come out publicly to endorse his aspiration. Can Kola repeat the piety of his late father as he has vowed? though this appears a tall dream, Wang cannot rule out the possibility of his dream coming to fruition. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Well, there you go. Now, police in Lagos State have arrested a 38-year-old man for allegedly killing his mother-in-law and one other person after raping his wife's teenage sister in the Ibeju-Lekki area of the state. The police public relations officer, SP Benjamin Hunde, confirmed the arrest in his verified Twitter handle. Preliminary investigation shows that he killed his mother-in-law because she discovered he was having carnal knowledge of his wife's 14-year-old younger sister, according to Hunde. The case has been transferred to the State Criminal Investigation Department for conclusion of investigation and arraignment. Kano State Fire Service has confirmed the death of 9 passengers when their vehicle plunged into Fada Dam in Gwarzo local government area of the state. A statement signed by the service public relations officer Samin Yusuf Abdullahi on Sunday said the incident occurred on Saturday evening. Abdullahi said the accident involved a Golf wagon car with 12 passengers coming from Kano and heading to Katsina. Report said the accident occurred following parking of a faulty vehicle at the middle of the road without proper beckoning for motorists to take caution. An approaching Golf driver lost control and plunged into the dam after hitting a stone placed close to the faulty vehicle, which was hardly noticed due to poor visibility. Eyewitnesses said the vehicle, which was meant to officially carry driver and 4 passengers, had 15 persons on board. Attempts to pull the car out of the dam made using 2 different vehicles were not successful. Youths in Benue State are worried that the African way of life is vanishing due to Western influence. They are worried that most cultures in Nigeria are endangered and called on the government to address the trend. The report.
Well, for a long time, what I knew about our people was mainly the New Yam Festival. I didn't know about what we talked about, like how a woman is supposed to be during marriage, how we assimilated the traditional marriage for a long time. I didn't know about any of this. It was upon my return to Benue State that I actually started finding out about it. So this has really, really affected me in not knowing how to speak my language, in not being able to properly talk with my tribesmen. I have a fear of going to the village due to the fact that I don't really know how to speak with my native tongue.
For me, bearing the Oche in my name, it's just an identity that confines me to be an Idoma. But if I will use the word, I am maybe an alien to my own culture, but maybe an accepted indigene of the Hausas, because growing up, my parents, most especially my mother, would actually communicate with us using Hausa, and my friends around.
These are some of the experiences shared by some residents of Makurdi. They are worried that they cannot fit into their own cultures, no thanks to their upbringing in places far from the ancestral homes. The aspect of culture most affected is language. The residents feel native languages are not given adequate attention as channels through which cultures are transferred from one generation to another.
I grew up in an environment where it's dominated by the Hausas. Then in my house, in my family, we were speaking English, more of English and Hausa alone. But my dad will always scold us. Each time he comes around and feels we are speaking or hears us speaking English or Hausa, he scolds us. He will permit me to use my language. Sometimes he has always said it, and that has always sunk in us. With that, we got to learn how to speak our language through my father, because my mom was also speaking that language with us.
It's not taken. Indigenous language may go down, except otherwise, if we arise and begin to provide materials so that it will become enough, can be printed, can be taught in school. Like in my school in those days, we were taught how to read, even in primary school, in our languages. So I think if that is put in place, we'll go a long way to helping the situation.
Most importantly, they say that parents can play a good part in training the young ones to preserve the languages they inherited from their forebears.
Believed that culture cannot be separated from language. And when we look into what is happening to our culture in Africa, we discover that many things have actually entered into our culture. When you look into how our people speak even their dialect or language.
The English, French, and other European languages are gradually taking the places of many African languages. In Nigeria, the Pidgin English, an adulterated form of the English language, may soon take the place of our indigenous languages if a deliberate policy is not enforced to save the situation.
Women in Jos are being sensitized to regularly engage in self-breast examination and medical checkups to enable them know their status and health condition. This is because breast cancer is becoming alarming by the day among African women. Ado Musa completes the story.
An estimated figure of 2 million women are said to have suffered from breast cancer in 2020 alone, with several deaths recorded. Despite the huge number of sufferers and fatalities, many are still ignorant of the fact that the disease is reaching crisis levels. With the prevalence of breast cancer cases in some parts of Plateau State, vulnerable women are being educated on the need for regular medical checkups.
Saboda likitoci sun ce larurar ta yi yawa a cikin garin Plateau.
The reason why we organize this sensitization is because of the cry by medical doctors that the breast cancer disease is prevalent among women in Plateau, and that is why we saw the need to create awareness among both Christian and Muslim women on the need to take precautionary measures against the disease.
Likitoci za su yi dangane da abin da ya shafi wannan cuta da yadda take farawa da yadda kuma ake magance ta da yadda.
It's alarming, more especially between Plateau. It's very alarming. We usually call the attention of all women, all parents should take care of her daughter or herself.
Medical practitioners from Jos University Teaching Hospital, Jude, and Jos North Primary Healthcare Unit share more light on the symptoms and treatment of the breast cancer.
We go around sensitizing people, telling them what breast cancer is, and then how they can notice and know if it starts, because once we pick it early, people have lived for more than 20 years after diagnosis of breast cancer. So if they are able to identify and pick it early, meaning something can be done. It's when people present late, which that's the norm in most of our hospitals, the developing world, people come at advanced stage. It's when she has pain or the smelling, that's, or if there's bleeding or something, that's when they go to the hospital.
Breast cancer is usually changes that usually occur in the female's breast, especially those that are not in the childbearing age, that is 45 years and above. The breast become bigger, that is one of the breasts sometimes become bigger than the other. In that case, when a woman experiences such changes in her breasts, what she should do is that she should not stay at home or seek advice from her family members or community. She should directly go to the hospital.
Special guests who represented some Muslim and Christian organizations added their voices to the call on women to be serious about their health and those of their children. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
Women in mining business in Nigeria have expressed worry over gender barrier given the ratio of men to women in the industry. As part of moves to break the gender barrier, women in mining are setting up Girls for Mining in selected secondary schools in Osun State. During the inauguration of the Girls for Mining Club in Osogbo, Osun State capital, one of the officials of Women in Mining, Andrew Catherine Ogoma, said mining industry is not for males only, urging girls to develop interest in mining. Bring you that in our subsequent bulletin. Now, government and well-to-do individuals are being urged to empower more women in society to make them more self-reliant. Kabir Lawal in this report takes a look at how women who are self-reliant can contribute meaningfully to society.
Although this is not the world's first female cobbler, and definitely won't be the last, the passion with which this woman tackles her craft is what endears her customers to her. Success Doshima values her art beyond just monetary benefits, and this truly amazes a lot of people. there are a few of our kind whose story interests a lot of people.
If you don't see me here, you should be in the house. So, me coming back late and all those kind of things, I don't have time for friends.
Success is determined to change the narrative of men dominating the industry.
I met a man that he said he doesn't believe in the work, but because he bought the foreign shoe, so he should just give it a try. But thank God I didn't disappoint in him giving me the trial, and I put through.
But more importantly, she believes that self-reliance will go a long way in curbing youth's restiveness.
You should believe that we, the youth, can do better. We can do something around us. We have quality things. We just need facilities to express ourselves. And we need platform also to show that we are good.
Success could not further our education beyond secondary school because of the economic situation of the country, and is calling on the government and well-to-do individuals to support young people so that they can look beyond white-collar jobs, which are few and far between.
The advice I have for the younger ones, or the ones that are coming up, or the ones that are still there waiting for someone to encourage them, is for you to know your type of vision. It might not be this shoe vision that you have.
So how does she react to disapproval from friends and family members over her newfound love for shoe production and repairs? Success Doshima says she settled for a masculine-oriented craft because she likes working with young men who appear more focused in life. She insists that there is no skill limited to men or women, stating that when men find themselves in traits that are tagged feminine, such as hairdressing, they tend to do better. Success Doshima therefore sees no reason why women who find themselves doing work popularly perceived to belong to men should not also excel. Kabir Lawal, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The people of Iragbiji in Osun State have identified culture as an avenue to unite and promote development of the ancient town. One of the strategies of attaining this objective is the annual Iragbiji celebration, which provides the opportunity for indigenes to meet and chart way forward for the growth of their town. Trust TV's Hamid Oyebadi files in this report.
Spiced with exciting cultural display, the annual Iragbiji celebration thrills guests and tourists. According to local history, Iragbiji, an ancient town in Osun State, was founded over 600 years ago by a hunter, Obebe, popularly known as Sunkungbade, who is originally from Ejio compound in More, Ile-Ife. Iragbiji is made up of 194 villages clustered into 22 districts and serves as the headquarters of Boripe local government area of the state. The traditional ruler of the town, the Aragbiji of Iragbiji, Oba Abdurrashid Ayotunde Olabomi, said the annual Iragbiji celebration is aimed at promoting culture and tradition of the people of Iragbiji.
To have all our people meeting once in a year, there's a lot of interaction between and amongst our people who have not seen themselves for the past 1 year. Annually we meet.
The Queen of Iragbiji, Olori Idiat Ayodeji Olabomi, said women in the town are coordinated to ensure that they train their children well to shun bad habits and acquire education.
Every time there is a meeting, they are called to discuss on how to train their children, make sure that they don't join bad gangs, and that they go to school regularly. We even have a body that goes from school to see how the children are doing in their respective studies.
The state governor, Adegboyega Oyetola, who hails from Iragbiji, urged indigenes to sustain development so far achieved in the town and strive for more.
In line with our belief that for the government to serve our collective purpose, It must be sustainable, equitable, planned and coordinated, holistic, and needs-directed.
The indigenes reaffirmed their determination to work together to take Iragbiji to greater heights. Amit Oyegbade, Trust TV News, Osogbo.
A very interesting report there. Now, there has been argument whether sugarcane is a fruit or vegetable, but the fact remains it is consumed irrespective of where it belongs to. Abubakar Sadiq sampled opinions of Zaria residents where sugarcane is grown and why people consume sugarcane. He also examines its health benefits to the people. His report.
Sugarcane is a species of tall perennial grass that is used for sugar production. Sugarcane belongs to the grass family, which is so economically important with different benefits. According to experts, sugarcane helps in boosting energy, improves digestion, prevents aging, and even helps diabetic patients. Malam Muhammadu Nazifi, who is into sugarcane business and sells the commodity for over 18 years, said sugarcane is mostly consumed by people for excitement, joy, and pleasure. He said it is not considered as a food, but at times its consumption relieves one from hunger. Nazifi said the sugary taste of the species while consuming makes people to engage in talks that are not necessarily relevant. Also commenting, Malam Noura Ahmed, who started selling sugarcane for the past 15 years, said people are fond of consuming sugarcane as a means of satisfaction. Ahmed argued that some people regard sugarcane as a food because it fills their stomach and satisfies their hunger. A consumer of sugarcane, Salisu Jibril, said he has been consuming the species for a number of years and will continue to consume it as long as he has the money to buy. Salisu Jibril added that sometimes he consumes sugarcane as a food, but most of the time as a pleasure and for excitement.
Okay, I take it like 3 times a day. No, it is my pleasure.
A nutrition Bashir Abubakar Magaji Basharata said sugarcane can be regarded as a crop, a fruit, and a vegetable because it belongs to the grass family. Basharata said part of its health benefit include energy booster, immune booster, and it helps in cleansing the liver.
That's a fact. And honestly, some are used for prevention, the what we call hepatomegaly. You know, the liver, when it is affected with some diseases. So one out of the important of that sugar cane is used to clean. Yeah, it clean the liver. Yeah.
From Zaria, Abubakar Sadiq Muhammad, Trust TV.
Thanks for watching News Hour on Trust Television. I'll see you on the other side of the break. To stay. Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. Moving on, Rwanda's defense ministry has said an unidentified soldier believed to be from the Congolese army was killed after crossing the border and firing at local security forces on Saturday. At about 1 a.m. local time, the man crossed the Petite Barriere, the border between Goma in the Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo and Rwanda, entering the Rubavu district before shooting at Rwanda Defense Force. Guards towards the incident comes as rebels from the M23 group, which has been fighting the Congolese government for a decade, made considerable gains in recent weeks, advancing towards Goma as fighting intensifies. DRC accuses Rwanda of supporting M23, but Rwanda has always denied the accusation. Nigeria's first individual Olympic gold medalist, Chioma Ojúwon-Okpara, has been named among recipients of the Maiden Southeast Sports Humanitarian Award of Excellence, billed to hold on December 2nd and 3rd, 2022 at the Gymnasium Hall of the Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium, Enugu. Under the chairmanship of Senator Osita Izunaso, the program is being packaged by the Southeast Parasports Forum. The Merit Award is not for all comers as it is based on humanitarian and philanthropist services of those that have contributed to the development of parasports, especially in the southeast region of Nigeria. Well, before we go, let's take a look at how a rural community in a fast urbanizing region along the West African Tano River is using traditional knowledge handed down over generations to protect the river, its vegetation and its fish stock. Take a look.
Tano River is very helpful to the people of this community. Domestically, we use for washing, cooking, drinking, and so many other uses. Potters also use it in their work, and then some also use it for irrigation purposes. There are so many traditions that the people of this community have used to protect this river. One, they don't fish in it. When you go to other places, they fish in it, but here we don't fish in it. You can't wash in it, and again, we don't step in this river with your footwear or whatever.
Yenya clay ewo nsuo no eho yetu no nsuo no de na yetu no ho ti me mani firi de ya yenya ye nana okofo da tekofa clay adwuma ba kurom ha ya me nso mbe hu ne ye no aboa ye kwan bebre so ya eboa ye clay no ho ma yenya adwuma sanse tano nso nye tano so hankwa ne da nso nye ba bia na omunya sa clay we e de ye adwuma ti me mani firi ye de no hu se nsu no ne moa e de aboa ye kuro yi mu no eno no
Mina mison asio tano bofo akwa enye enne efri seye be chichirita no yi ena nam yewura otumfo so man sika yi bedi yensemo a yede som asio tano bofo akwa kure da ha nyina obisa papa ya obeka ye fie nko na santen sika no eda yede som asio tano bofo akwa Somebody made do the name here. Now, once in Bia, maybe some Bia.
Me, I'm said, me and say Bia.
nsuo no yɛsɛ ɛmpɛ seminar nsuo nti yɛmfa bi ngum na yɛmfa boiler so ngum ade a ɛkyiri no yɛmfa nkom na woyɛ baa so na wobu nsa ɔmfa ɛnkom nti ɛno nyinaa yɛyɛ sɛ na ɛbɛyɛ a nsuo no tem bi a ɛbɛda hɔ ama yɛ.
Well, with that, we wrap up News Hour for tonight. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. From myself and the production team, have a good night.